Am I not here again? Wait, here
Yeah,
I am.
can you make the screen smaller? Are you on a laptop or are you on a
I'm on my
iPad?
laptop.
Click on the thing on the handout or the thing that she has up that says Insight Wins and make it smaller. Can you scoot it over to make it smaller?
Don't see anything.
There should be a little line
I did
between where
make
you
it
see.
smaller. I made it smaller, but y'all are still really small. I only see 4 people.
Me too.
Click. Oh, really? I see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, and I put show grid video, but it's only showing 6 people.
Yeah, they're on the mobile app.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jim.
So that's
Jim,
only
you're
6
so
people.
smart.
Jim Butcher.
Yeah, he's so
Yes.
smart.
Hey, Jim Butcher.
What's up, Gretchen?
I see 12 people on my screen right now.
I
Hey,
don't.
too.
That's because you're
Yeah.
Jim Butcher.
Well, no, it's because I'm Colton Cockrell, but I mean, I
Oh.
wish.
I didn't even hear your voice.
No.
I mean, Jim and I have similar bicep sizes, but I mean, besides that,
So
All right, Colton, that is all recorded, just so you know. I'm going to use that on our podcast.
So what do I need to do? Because I have 6 people and I'm on the show grid video, but it's only showing 6 people.
Ellie, I'm not sure that you can, if you're on the mobile app, I don't know if you can
No,
see
I'm
more
on
than.
I'm on my laptop.
there's
Okay,
two little lines. There's 2 little lines between the slide and the presenters. If you grab that and hold it down and just slide it to the left, you're going to get more people showing up.
Do you see what he's talking about? Where the
Wow,
gallery
you went
is?
out. You faded out.
Where he's talking about where you see the people, if you bring your cursor up, all of a sudden a line will appear.
Oh,
And
okay.
then just scoot it over to the left.
Oh,
Click and
wow.
drag to the left.
Roxanne, you took up my whole screen. I don't know what I did, but
All right, everybody wave to Ellie. All right, Ellie. Hey.
I don't know what happened. I switched screens. So let's see. No, well, it's not working. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we get started?
I got it. I got it.
Perfect. I'm so glad that all of you are here today. Holy cow, we have a full house. Welcome to everyone. We are recording, and I'm super excited to hear what your insights have been for the week. And just a reminder, I know we've all slept since then. What we're talking about this week, yeah, I heard you, Jim, strategic plan. And Roxanne, your topic this week has been
Eating out.
Oh yeah, I was like, I thought you were going to say something.
I'm
and
sorry,
like,
what? Yeah. All right, Gretchen was paying attention.
Yes,
So,
eating out at restaurants, eating on the go, eating at fast foods.
Yeah, so who wants to start? Insights for the week.
I'll go first.
Go for it, Cheryl.
My dog will start working. Let me wait. Well, okay, she's done. Okay, so as far as the strategic planning, every single week it keeps building and building and building. So it's kind of helping me narrow down now that I've picked one of my 4 jobs. And so thank you for all the different papers. So I didn't catch all of what y'all were talking about in the very beginning, but I was having a hard problem. I had to go back through all my papers and go, okay, this was called 1, this was called 2, this was called 3, because everyone starts with this paper. And so I finally just got rid of that paper, even though the coaching part is behind it. So yeah, so whatever y'all can do to make it a little more clear, that would be helpful.
Yeah, thank you very much for the feedback.
You're welcome. And then on the insight part for eating out, I don't eat out very often, but when we do, I like that. I never thought about ordering, not opening the menu at all, because that does send a clear sign to the waiter or waitress that you're going to do something special for whatever reason that you have. So I loved that. Thank you, Dr. Roxanne. And I didn't realize how many calories was in their marinated meat. That was, I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad. So those were 2 really wonderful things that I came out with that section. So thank you.
And that's easy. That's a real easy thing, but it's true. Like I said, that one, it's like 900 calories for a grilled chicken breast at Saltgrass. That's crazy. And you think you're doing healthy. Yeah, so those are important things. Good, I'm glad it helped.
All right, who's next?
Well, I wanted to share something that has been working for me. It's the warm water or maybe something hot. I've been practicing that lately, and it's been working great. So thank you for that.
Nice. Yeah, that's such an easy little thing. And I mean, I was trying anything. I was even like drinking carbonated water and doing a handstand, seeing if that would fill me up somehow. I tried everything almost. And what worked was the hot water or the hot coffee or the hot tea to make me feel full only for about 20 minutes, but it just helps me get away from the table.
I could totally see you doing a handstand.
I was thinking the bubbles, like, I don't know, they'll stimulate a receptor cell in my stomach. I don't know. You have to think out of the box. Science isn't there yet.
That is the truth. Rose, I see your hand.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
For insight, I really like, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Because I complained that you hear me last week. So I really feel like Dr. Roxanne knows me when she's making her videos. I cannot look at pictures or I will order them. So it was really a good technique to just get me a chicken breast and green stuff. That's it. Whatever, bring it. And they were like, so what do you want? And they're like really guiding me to look at the menu. I was like, if I look at that, I will order the Monte Cristo fried with a side of rice. So I just need a grilled chicken breast, very boring, very vanilla. I was like, but tell the guy to cook it right because I don't want to be fat anymore. And so she just cracked up. They brought me it on a feta spinach. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Yes. So thank you, Dr. Roxanne, for that. Trisha, my insight, I really took a lot out of the save time and money. And I think I do everything rushed, because I'm always trying to save time and money. So I talk faster. I just do things faster. I don't even read the directions half the time. I just go to get it done. So, and your videos, your modules, gosh, it's probably just me, but I want to speed them up. I was trying to, because you've got such a soothing and comfortable voice. I'm like, I think she's trying to calm me down. I really feel like she's trying to calm me down. So my biggest insight is I think I probably have to slow down because I might be the 1 out of 10 people that feels like it's going slow around me. And it's probably the right speed, but I'm in like hyper mode all the time. So I'm gonna, I'll talk to Dr. Roxanne about more vitamin B complex, I think.
Yes.
And those are all great comments, Rose. And if I'm being honest with the group, I don't like things slow paced either. I've got to be doing something all the time and it's fast paced and everything around me is moving way too slow. But when I'm in a controlled environment and I'm teaching other people, right, I'm learning for myself while teaching other people that you do have to slow down and try and find a happy medium, right? If you go back and look at your behavior styles, for instance, you know exactly who you are. You knew who you were before you took that behavior assessment, right? And when we are on that side of the spectrum, we tend to move a lot faster, right? And especially those that are high D, they tend to move on to the next project even faster than most. So it's just something that we have to learn to live with. You don't need to change, but dialing it up or back is a great thing to learn for sure.
Yay.
And Rose, I want to touch on that. You'll find out next week. It was hilarious because the same thing for me. Like, obviously my videos, I'm like, Colton's going to make me do them all over again because he said they're too fast, too much stuff is flashing. You need to calm down. We need to make it better. So he's like, that's fine for now, but we're going to change them. I'm like, okay. So I was watching Trisha, I guess, I don't know, this weekend. And again, she was calm and slow. And so you'll see on my video coming up with exercise that I'm talking slow and calm and relaxed because I'm like, well, she calm. So, so you're going to see a difference in my, the second part of my video next week. I'm very, as I'm talking.
No, I love your video. Oh my God, yours are perfect. They're done in like 3 minutes.
Well, I still have that one that's crazy, but then my second one is a little bit slower. So,
But
I'm just trying to.
You have to remember all the different learning styles. So I like them because they're colorful. And I like that, you know, you have a lot of visual aids. So don't listen to Colton about everything because he's that picture's freaky, Colton, because your eyes are cutting at us. But I like your videos because I am definitely a right brain visual learner, and so I'm not my auditory skills are very poor. So you know, just watching and seeing, that's how I learn. So don't cut back too much.
I know you can tell me and Ellie order the pictures off the menu.
Well, that's what I was going to say about Trisha's on Facebook, your Stay Focused. I really liked that because that was, I have a very small business, like it's just enough to buy gifts for my grandbabies. But that's really good for me because I just sat yesterday and just kind of had a plan because I make t-shirts and do woodworking and stuff for holidays. And so next is like Father's Day. So something like that for a very small business is really good because my projection's not as big, but that's very, that's self-explanatory, like in your steps. So I really like that you had on there yesterday. Or what
you can thank Rose for that. She asked for that.
I like the quadrants. I really like the quadrants.
Well, and I think, you know, we try to have a good mix of the way people learn through videos, through modules, through PDFs, and really just trying to catch everybody in some way and engage them. So good. Great. This is great feedback. Who else has an insight?
I do. This is Regina. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hey. Well, a win is, oh, wait, we're on the insights. Insight would be just how invaluable it's been to be partnered with Cheryl. You know, your header says it's a team sport. Let's do this together. In addition to this group environment, knowing that you've buddied me up with someone and we've been able to share our goods and just holding each other accountable to getting it done makes a difference. So thank you.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. And that Roxanne and I have talked about that being an integral part of this program, is having people partner up from the beginning.
Regina, you look like a commercial with your background. I was trying to figure out if you were live or not. You look like Colton almost, but I like that. It's very colorful.
Thank you. I'm testing all kinds of things out.
It looks like a commercial, though. It's very, I'm trying to read what that is, but that's awesome.
I'm going to change the lighting because I want you to be able to see it easier.
Roxanne, did you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I had an insight again that, you know, I'm trying to put a plan together, and I've never done this before because for me to sit down and have a plan, if it takes more than 5 minutes, it's not going to happen unless I'm on a treadmill or something. So the insight again was, I liked how you're kind of projecting like in 3 years and, you know, 1 year, 90 days, you know, 1 month, and how breaking up, because I did do that, and it helps you realize that your goal is doable. It's not so overwhelming because then you're kind of just, well, for the next month, I just need to work on this. And that is like me, I just rather hurdle over everything, just get me to the finish line. And this is making me really focus. And so that insight was awesome because it makes things a little bit more doable. Like my finish line is shorter, you know, I don't have to go to the end. I can just hit the first obstacle basically. So I really love that. It makes it, it makes me like I can get up after the first little stop and then go do something and come back and worry about the next. So I really like that. That was good.
Thank you. Who else has an insight? Go for it, Gretchen.
So 2 things for Roxanne. I was really blown away when you answered Kay's question about hormones and the effect of diet on that.
that was a total, as I told you already, it's a total game changer. That it was amazing. It was a big aha moment. And then for the planning, I think my biggest thing is I'm pretty good at making plans. I'm not so good as taking the first step and then taking the second step. Because I think it's like, oh my gosh, this has to be perfect before I start. So I just have to remind myself that plans are fluid and they're going to change and that I need to adjust.
Absolutely. And that's your behavior style, Gretchen, wanting things to be perfect before you move on. I would challenge you to, when you find yourself in that state and you're turning in circles, to just say to yourself, it's okay to fail fast. Because if you continue to think about things for weeks, months, years, and you never do anything about it, you'll never know if it would work or not. It's okay to fail fast. So just remember that. And if you fail fast, then you know that you can move on to your next plan and you're not just worried about it all the time. Who else has an insight? Thank you for sharing, Gretchen. Jim Butcher, you're not on mute.
No,
You
I
got
was just
something to say? Okay. I just checking. Trying to keep my eyes on everybody.
Try standing on my head and doing a handstand.
We should be over there doing CrossFit while we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
No.
Anyone else? All right. I know y'all had some wins this week.
I'll go with the win. My big win is that I'm not giving up. Meaning that I don't know how many times I thought to myself, like all the things I need to do for my project. And the people that I want to talk with, because there's a number of people say, hey, let's talk about this next week and all that stuff. And then of course, the week goes by and I really, really need to, to make that happen. But I'm not giving up. The second I think it's overwhelming, I just sit down and say, no, it's not. I got a plan. Little steps. So I'm not, before I would say, I don't have time for this. I'll just worry about it in January or whatever. So that's a huge win, because every time I have a negative thought, I'm coming back with a positive, like, no, you can do this one step at a time. So I really like that.
That's
it gives
awesome.
me a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Regina, I know you had a win. I heard you.
I do. I had multiple wins, but I have to piggyback off of Dr. Roxanne. I think my biggest win is baby steps. In the past, if I can't go from A to Z in one step, I just abandon it. I want it all done fast. And when it's too big of a step, it's overwhelming. So I have learned to embrace the baby steps, and I think that's pretty cool.
Amen, sister.
And you're on the beach now.
Yeah.
Rose, did you have something?
I have a win.
Oh, go ahead,
I have
Kay.
a win. So it's not really for me as much as for my stepsister, but she drinks Dr. Pepper all the time. And she was walking in with one the other day, and it was over my mom's, and she walks in, I'm like, did you know how much sugar's in that thing? She was like, no, I don't want to know. I'm like, well, I'm fixing to figure it out.
That's funny.
You're going to be pleased now.
Yeah, I never really thought about it until, I knew there was a lot of sugar, but not actually how much sugar, until you started telling us how to figure it. And I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's hilarious. But don't do that, because no one's going to want you to, go anywhere with them.
I know.
Especially on margarita night.
That's right.
Margaritas are completely different.
Yeah, that's her cheat meal. That's when you can do it. You got to plan it.
It's definitely Kay's cheat meal, a margarita.
Right. Yes, it is.
Liquid
There's nothing
lunch.
wrong with that. No, I always say, like, the first 3 letters of the word diet is die. We don't want to feel like we're dying. We just need to just moderate. Most of the time do good, and every once in a while let yourself go. It's okay.
Right.
You'll still progress. You'll still have success.
Go ahead, Rose.
Okay, so last week I kind of made an inner announcement that I'm not going to go through to any restaurant that has a drive-through on it. That included Chick-fil-A. So I just made that little quiet one to me. And then I told, I told one of my daughters about it. And then this week I fell, well, actually that was, I guess I'd say last week and then Tuesday. But when I remember when I made this binder with all of the stuff in it. Okay, so this week, as of Tuesday, I officially fell behind on my homework. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to eat out at all until I catch up on my homework. And my daughter invited me out. My older daughter, she invited me out. She's always trying to, go out and eat. She's like, Mom, you could pick since you're going to pay. And so I'm like, oh, you're so sweet. And I was like, I can't, I really can't. And she was like, why? And I go, because I'm not going to go out and eat anywhere. I don't even care. She's like, but it doesn't have a drive-through. We're going somewhere fancy, right? So I was like, no, not until I get my book done. And she looked at me and she was like, come on, let's go. I'll help you. I was like, Jenna, you can't help me write down my goals. And you can't tell me how, how to wire myself. I was like, you can't help me with this. She was like, whatever, do your homework. I'll come back tomorrow. So that was my win. I didn't go.
That's huge.
I know. That was, yeah, she's going to call me later.
That's awesome. Well, so I'll share mine, and you guys have heard some of it, parts of it, but I think before we even started the program, Roxanne told me to stop eating candy bars. And it wasn't a candy bar, it was a protein bar. I thought it was okay. It was filled with junk. I have given those up completely. And I have started eating a hard-boiled egg and sweet peppers in the morning because I like the crunch, right? That's something that I miss, is the crunchy stuff. So, and that has been a game changer for me, actually having real food in the morning. I feel better, I have more energy. I didn't give up my shake yet. I'm still doing that kind of mid-morning-ish before my lunch, but I will eventually get there. But I did trade the shake first thing in the morning for real food, and it's huge. It's been a really, really big deal for me.
And Tricia, you bring up a really important point, and I don't know why this is, and I guess probably because I don't explain it well enough, but I can't tell you how many times people, they come in to see me, I change what they're eating, I put them on a plan, and they come back in 2 weeks, and it's almost like, or even a month, depends on, it might be the second time I see them, but it's like they have their tail between their legs with their head down, and they come to me, and they're just like, I know, and then they go through this whole spiel. They basically come do a confession with me, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm like, look, this is journey. I don't expect you to be perfect. And anyone who does like research, and we talked about this, research even says it takes 45 days to create a new habit. So 45 days is like 6 weeks, meaning that you're going to great for 3 days and you might do terrible for 3 days and you might do great for so when you're trying to incorporate these changes, it's important with what you're saying is that you start off with a baby step, and then you know what, one day you're going to wake up, you're having a bad morning, screw it, I want that candy bar, not really, the protein bar, and you might eat it. Okay, it doesn't mean you revert back all the way where you were. So that's an important point, that you're going to find you're rocking along and you feel like you've got it under control, and something's going to happen to trigger you to do something that you're going to feel guilty about. And then you start saying, oh, look at me, I just can't do this. And that's not it. It's just a process. So any little change you make, every little thing you do is success, even if you don't do it the next day. So everyone needs to understand, it's not like, a light switch is flipped on and everything's going to change. Not going to happen. So Gretchen, you can't think you're going to be perfect every day, or else it's not going to happen.
So I have a question to that though. Okay, so there's a couple times, because my problem's always been eating frequently enough. I mean, in the past I've been eating maybe once a day, and so getting this many in, so I'm still finding a couple times where I'm, I ate in the morning and then I'm busy with work and I look up, it's like, oh my gosh, it's 4 hours later. So do I eat a snack, or do I forget that mid-morning snack and just eat a lunch? What's the best way to handle that?
If you eat breakfast and it's been 4 or 5 hours, you need to eat lunch, not a snack. And then after you have that lunch, then you need to make sure you're eating again in 2.5 hours that snack. Get back on track. But some people, they'll eat breakfast and then they don't eat again until o'clock and for some reason they think they need to get all their meals in, so they're eating a meal every hour. That's not what we do either. So, you know, if you do, now remember the most important thing, the thing that makes me want to eat, because what I eat is boring, so it's not really about eating because it tastes good to me, but I know I need to keep that fire lit. As we get older, we need to keep that fire burning, so we're burning more calories, so that we're keeping our metabolism going. By skipping those meals, like after 3 hours, that fire is out. So now you're just pretty much exuding smoldering coals. So you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So the motivation for me is really, I'm too old to let my metabolism go slow. That's what I think. So I constantly am trying to find things to eat. And everyone, even you young people, everyone should know that, you know, you are missing out on such an important part of keeping metabolism speeding up just because you lose track of time. So that's probably one of the biggest, that's the easiest thing to help you lose weight, by keeping your, because even if your metabolism is fine, you eat bad, you're still going to lose. So for people who are skipping meals, it's such a, I mean, it's just going to slow everything down. So just keep trying, like maybe put a timer on your phone, alarm on your phone, something. And even if you only have time to throw in like 6 almonds in your mouth and chew them, and that's it, and swallow and go on, that's a better bad choice. That's better than nothing.
All right, who else has a win to share?
Philip, that's a funny little background. That scared me for a minute. Good grief. I was like, who, what is that? I don't watch Star Wars. I just know that's from Star Wars.
That's the child. That's the child.
What?
I don't have any wins, but based on Kay's convo last week, I read up on menopause, so I'm ready to contribute when we get to that point again.
Philip.
You're going to need it for later on in your life.
Well, you know what's interesting though, Philip, because we saw you disengage when we started having that conversation. Roxanne actually told us that it affects men as well. And
it's called menopause. It's menopause. It's true.
I had a question about your background right after Kay went, and you were gone. You were like
completely disengaged.
Yeah, he was like,
well, Kay can tell you a different one. I have certain keywords that I'll shut down on. That's kind of one of them.
That's why she said, Philip, get ready.
Yeah, I got my keywords.
All right. Anybody else have a win to share today?
Yeah, I actually share a win with you guys. So over the last month, been doing stuff, and it really threw my schedule off as far as how I normally operate, normally do things. So I've been working to get my way back up to my normal schedule, which thankfully that's a huge win for me, is to start getting my diet back on track. And the way I like to normally do that is just one day at a time. Like this week, I'll focus on a couple days, and then next week I'll add on another day. So over a 7-week process, I have 6 to 7 days that I got everything back on track. And it's been a working process, or how do you say? It's I've been using that method for a long, long time with my training and stuff like that. And I'm glad that it's back to a relatively normal, how do you say, work-life balance at this point. And I'm down 40 pounds, by the way.
Wow. Awesome. And that has to be huge for you, you know, because everyone probably knows this, you have been super busy, like so busy, like you're hardly sleeping. And that is my heart goes out to people in the corporate world or people that work a lot, because this life gets in the way and they know what they need to do, but they're just kind of overwhelmed. And by you basically swimming back up to the top of that, you know, stream and sticking your head out and making a change, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah, it absolutely is. So good for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else have a win they want to share?
Well, I just have to say my win is that I do see Roxanne every month, but my win is that my weight's just going down, you know, to almost 3 sizes now. But I don't work. I'm retired. So, I mean, we do our fasting cardio we have a schedule and we don't miss eating, but it's just feeling so good. I feel like I'm 59, but I feel like, I'm 20 years younger right now because I'm more active now and I feel better now and it works. So, and everybody wants to know if there's diet pills or anything. I said, no, it's just, I think it's accountability going to her every month, just saying, okay, you're losing fat, not muscle. And it's just really been good. But I just have to say some of the keys is that you do have to make sure you get your food in. That's just really, really important. And it's all your mindset. And that's why I think, Tricia, what you're tying in with your business is that this just gears so much for wellness too, because at our age, it's not being a bodybuilder and wearing a bikini anymore. It's more health and it's more how you feel each and every day. So I just want everybody that's I've been doing it since February because I had a lot of surgeries and I gained way more weight than I ever have. And it's really it's a progress. And you do have to, it's just one step at a time. So that's my win. It's going down.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Ellie. And I would say, I love what you said about the words that you used around one step at a time for your health. It's the same way with your business, guys. You can't turn your business around or make a huge adjustment in your business overnight. It's just not going to happen. The pandemic has affected everyone in one way or another. It could have caused more business. It could have caused less business. And we can't just change it overnight. We've got to take baby steps. If you don't have goals, you've got to set those goals, right? And start with today. Start with this week. Obviously, looking into the future first and working back. And celebrate your successes just as you would in your health. Always give yourself the credit for the great things that you're doing, right? So you ate well today, celebrate. You created a goal for your business today, celebrate. Always celebrate those small wins. They mean a lot. And by the way, they create endorphins in your brain and they make you feel good, right? When you celebrate. So.
But let's be clear, you're not going to celebrate by eating a candy bar. or sucking down a bottle of wine. You got to find other ways to celebrate. Go buy an outfit. Do something like that.
You drink vodka, it has no sugar.
There you go. Oh, you're right.
Any mixers in it.
Oh my goodness. All right. So who has questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Does it pertain to the lessons or to a small business? Because I have a question.
Whatever you want to ask, Ellie, go ahead.
Because my business is probably it's very small. Like I said, I have customers and I do vinyls and t-shirts and I have t-shirt press and I do woodworking. But sometimes when I get that ugly customer, I just want to shut down. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm retired. I don't really need to. But I'm the kind that rubber hits the road every day. I like to do something. So that's why I do this. But it's like, how do you get that mindset? And it just takes me days, when you have good communication with this person and then it turns around like, well, that's not really what I requested. And, but it's really hard to say, okay, I don't need this anymore. And, I've always been like that. I was a master teacher, but, one thing would upset me. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to walk away. So how do you get past that?
So part of it's mindset and part of it is choosing your customers. We'll talk a lot about choosing your customers in the next two modules from now or 2 chapters from now. But when we talk about mindset, it really is, as long as you know that you've done everything that you can to make the product or process or system right for the client, then you should walk away and celebrate your success. Just because they complain to you doesn't mean that you did anything wrong necessarily. Now, customers always come first and we have to listen to them and try to make it right, especially if we're in the middle of a transaction. But 1, you don't have to service them ever again. And
Right.
2, you can choose who you want to do business with. I mean, that's just the way business is these days. I have clients that I fire all of the time. And that sounds really harsh, but it's true. If they make you miserable, don't work with them.
Right.
Or, what you could do is you could recommend them to your competition, right? And let them deal with them because you don't necessarily have to. So back to the mindset, it really is about celebrating the great things that you're doing and not worry about what their opinion is. The other thing that you have to take into consideration, Ellie, is what behavior style are they? Because I suspect that you're probably a high green, high S, and you really care about what people think. And sometimes that's hard on us. And if you're dealing with a person who is opposite behavior style from you, which is a D, a high dominance, it takes a lot to get along for the S to get along with the D. It really does, because you may find them offensive in the way that they behave. I think Kay had an example earlier in the program where she had to kind of dial up. She was dealing with a D and had to dial up her behavior style to be able to deal with him. Right? I know, Kay, I saw you pop on.
What do you do?
It is hard.
I am here.
What do you do when you know that they're the ones, it's a customer keeps come back, and I'm like, okay, I'm done this time, and then, you know, they call and they want something, you know, and it's revenue, you know, it's money coming in, and it's like you're in this dilemma, like, okay, do I tell them no, but I know this is a large amount of money, or what? That's my big problem, because they just keep coming back.
Yeah, and you need to weigh that out, right? Which do you want to deal with the customer, or do you want the revenue, right? Which do you want? Or deal with the customer and get the revenue, or just let it go, and you could service 10 nice clients for that one guy or gal, right, that's giving you a hard time. Roxanne, you had something to...
Jim was going to say something. I'll say something after Jim.
I was just going to say that if you make the decision to service the client, I think you need to forgive yourself and move on and realize the decision. So.
Oh, wait, I lost him. I didn't hear the punchline there.
I don't think there was a punchline on that. It's just accepting the fact that you decided to work with that type of client. It doesn't sound like you're accepting that.
Yeah. Right. So one thing that I was going to say too, Ellie, and a lot of people don't think about this, and a long time ago, me and Kay used to work together, and we had like nasty people. Yeah, a long time. I think Colton was 7.
Yeah.
So that was a long time. But we had like nasty people that would come in, and Kay is very sweet, and Kay likes to, no matter what she was doing or talking to them, they were just nasty, and she would get upset about it. And I would try to remind people that some people's attitude is based on their health. So sometimes when people just don't feel good, they don't feel good about themselves, their blood sugar's not balanced, they just feel bad, they project really ugliness, like anything can just take them, like anything that normally, like you talked about. Obviously this person doesn't think that you're that bad, because they wouldn't keep coming back to you. So I'm thinking, kind of shift your paradigm and also look at their health. Because unhealthy people snap and are mean, and they say the things they don't even mean. They just, when they feel bad, they say things, and then they just try to forget they even said it. And the next day's a new day because they feel better. So really take those things, don't take it personal like everyone has said. Just think too, like what's their mindset? Are they not feeling good? Are they not healthy? And just know that you've chosen to understand that they have this behavior, and you can deal with it, or as Jim said, or not. If you're going to accept it, just know this is going to happen, or just move on. But look at their health, because that's their mindset.
That's a really good point.
That's a great
point. So don't let it eat at me afterwards.
Right.
That's right. You got to let it go. You definitely got to let it go. Anybody else have a question? Go ahead, Rose.
Were we supposed to read the book Competing for the Future? Is that just a recommended read? You referenced his book on page 6 of the printout.
You don't have to, Rose. It's not a requirement. It's just a suggestion. You can mark that off your homework list.
Yes, thank the Lord. Okay. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to eat out. Okay, so so my other question is to Jim, probably, or Philip. You guys seem a little more techie than Dr. Roxanne. Actually, Trisha could probably answer this. I created an Alexa routine, and it's really inspiring. It tells me like, hey, Rose, it's been 2.5 hours. Go ahead and eat something. Dr. Roxanne will be so proud of you. You know, and like she talks to me. And so So Julia was over, and then it, like 3 hours later, it's like, Rose, you're so pretty and awesome, you know. And so she's so basically, as soon as I have a meal, like my first meal of the day, you know, I start it, and I'm like, Alexa, start my eating, and so it does a wait. So Julia was like, oh yeah, dude, it took me like 2 hours to create this routine. I was sitting there like, what would I want to hear at about, you know, 4 o'clock? You know, it's like, don't give up. You know? So anyway, Julia was here and she heard it going, like, you know, and she was like, send me that. I can't figure out how to send it, and I am not going to sit on her Alexa app and freaking recreate it. So is there a way?
I need that. That's awesome. I need to like devise an app, a Dr. Roxanne app where your phone starts talking to you. Don't eat that.
That's a great idea, Rose. Thank you. I'm going to do my Alexa. I'm going to set it up tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Hey, Elle, I think you need to make a T-shirt for Roxanne that says there's 20 packets of sugar in that.
Yes. No, right.
I love it. So Jim or anybody who might know the answer to that, is there a way to share a routine and send it to someone? I'll send it to all of y'all if I can.
I don't use Alexa, Siri. I'm not actually. I know a lot about technology. I don't use any of that.
Jim's old school.
My husband's like an IT pro, and he was like, "Babe, I don't play around with Alexa." I was like, "Oh, sorry, that's for like the little kids."
Colton, do you have any clue? He may have walked away.
Oh, good, he's busted.
We might ask Rose. We might ask Colton. I don't know.
I'll look into that, Rose. I'll look into
the only thing my Alexa does is play music. So,
she does.
Because that's all I know how to ask for.
So much more.
That sounds awesome, though. I love that. Yeah, and you know what? I think it's really cool that you do that. My phone app, if I'm being honest with everyone, when I ask Siri for something on my phone, not the house Siri, she says, "Hello, beautiful. What do you want?" Right? And I think it's neat that that you're open with that, Rose, and because we all need to hear that. You know, whether you're a male or female, you need those compliments, right? It makes us feel good.
That's how we need to respond to everything. Is hello, beautiful.
Yes. Right? I'm just saying.
In the business world, we're only allowed to tell people they look sharp. You look sharp today.
You look sharp. All right, go ahead, Gretchen.
So this is not content related, but system related. I frequently have issues when I'm trying to go onto the lessons to where I can't get a live link. And I thought it was just me, and I talked to Rose and she has the same problem. So Rose, can you explain it?
Okay, so whenever you're going to look at your homework and kind of get into it, if you're on the Surface screen, none of those links work. You actually have to hit My Dashboard to get the little box, and then inside of those work. But there's also a little booby trap, because if you click all courses, even from that, it takes you back to the Surface page that has no working link.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a little harder to navigate. I like Julia called me for the same thing, and I was like, just click it until it turns gray, and like click everything until it turns gray, and she was able to do that. And because you have to hit, I go, and then when you see it turn gray, whatever you do, don't hit all courses again. You have to hit replay course, and then it will open you up into the yellow. I call them brown, gray, and yellow because that's what I.
Okay, that works. And the My Dashboard, just for anyone who is looking for that link, is in the top left corner.
Yeah, right.
So if you're stuck, you go in the top left corner of the tool to hit the My Dashboard. I'll look into that, Rose. I don't know. You and I, or Gretchen and I, may need to get together so you can show me exactly what it is that you see, because I'm obviously working on the back end of it, right? So I do log in as a user, but I haven't seen that problem. So I'll get with you guys.
That might be you need to check. What browser are you guys using?
Chrome.
Oh, Chrome, or I think I might have been on Edge.
Yeah, if you're using Chrome, it might be a browser issue. Check a different browser, and that may fix it.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
I think I've used all, because I use
Looking at
all
that.
3 different browsers. I never know which one I'm on when.
All right, good.
And did I miss it? I think I can't remember who we talked about having a guide as to help us with our, oh my gosh, Edith. Our accountability partners.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not something that Roxanne and I have created yet. So thank you, Gretchen, for bringing it up, and it's certainly something that we will do. There aren't any rules about having an accountability partner in this group, but Roxanne and I are going to put just a short, 4 or 5 points together, just as a guideline on what you should be using your accountability partner for. It's really the relationship that you own. And if you want somebody to hold you accountable to get your homework done, or just to even show up for the meetings, I mean, it could be something as simple as that, or it could be somebody to help you with your plan, right? And help you through that process. So it could go much deeper, or it could be surface level. And it's really up to the 2 people to decide what kind of accountability they need from that person. And Roxanne and I will definitely, next week, when we've got our break week, we can put that guideline together for you guys.
So the other thing also was, I think Rose had asked, and I may have missed getting it, but just some examples of the 4 quadrants of, short term, mid term, that. Do you have anything that you can share with us on that?
Did you, Gretchen, see the video that I put up on Facebook yesterday?
No.
That will be very helpful. So if you go back to Facebook, it should be at the very top. I posted it yesterday, and I walked through each of the quadrants, and I did an example.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So that should be helpful. And if not, certainly reach out to me, and we can do a quick call.
Okay.
Questions from anyone else? Okay, you guys are all going to cheer because next week is a break week. Yay! But the reason why it's a break week is because the content is pretty heavy coming in. So Roxanne is talking about exercise and the different kinds of exercise. And Roxanne, I'll let you talk about it. My content is super heavy as well, but I don't want it to scare you. So when I say the word metrics, I don't want everyone to shrug and crawl into a hole and bury your head in the sand. I promise it will be okay. The content is heavy, and I'd like for you guys to really dig into it and understand what kind of numbers you want to be looking at. I'm not asking you to create it. I'm just asking you to understand it. And then I can help everybody with building a dashboard, but it really is a simple subject. It's just not something that we all love, maybe except for Edith. She loves numbers. But just take it all in, right? That's all I'm asking, is that you take it all in, and then we can have a really either one-on-one discussion or even a group discussion about what that looks like. Because I know numbers can be scary for some business owners. It doesn't have to be, I promise. And Roxanne?
And I'm going to be talking on exercise. And basically what I've done is I first talk about the importance of exercise. And it's not, and I explain really, and I don't, when people say exercise, I mean, everyone just rolls their eyes. I don't have time for it, and they think it's terrible, and all they think about is how hard it is, but it doesn't have to be that kind of exercise. It's basically gentle movement. And I give the reasons why, not to lose weight or to be fit. That's not the reason why we need to exercise, but I talk about that. But then I also give you exercise workouts. I give you an exercise, some workouts if you want to use weights or bands at your house. I have pictures of me doing them, and that is, if you don't know me, I hate pictures. And so there's pictures of me doing the exercise, showing you. And I have 2 different kinds of workouts. I have a workout where you do chest, shoulders, and triceps on one day, back and biceps on one day, legs on one day, and then you start all over again. Chest, shoulders, and triceps, back and biceps, and legs. So it's a 6-day workout. And then I have another one where you're doing chest, shoulders, and triceps on one day, back and biceps on one day, and you take a day off. So basically, you're just working out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just cardio, and Thursday, Friday. So I give you 2 different structures. And then I give you there's a folder that's going to have actually some videos if people don't have any weights and they don't go to the gym, where you're just using body weights. Basically, you're just using your body, and same thing. There's one video for chest, shoulders, and triceps, one video for back and biceps, and one video for legs. And that just gives you something. I'm doing them on my patio at my house. It's not pretty. I think a boat is going by on one of them. But the point is that, and I give you modifications. If you can't do a push-up, I give you ways to anyone should be able to do these. And that's something I don't want you to freak out over. It's just, you can just try to do one round of it, just kind of play with it, but you'll have that in your toolbox. So if you're at home working and you have 30 minutes, it will probably take you 20 minutes to do one of these things, or 15 minutes. So it just gives you something to start trying to schedule one more thing in your daily life.
Yep.
So don't be afraid, and it's not more content than what you're used to, it's just heavier, okay? So when I say heavy, I don't mean that there's more. I don't mean you're gonna spend more time. I'm just saying you're gonna have to think about it a little more when you're looking at your exercises and the things that you wanna do with your health and also with your business. And if we don't, and you're gonna hear it in the video that I do, if what gets measured gets done. Most of us have heard that before, and if we're not measuring, whether it's in your health or your business, then it's not going to get done. And that's really what these two parts are going in. And you guys have 2 weeks to get it all in, soak it all in. All right, everybody's quiet. I see all these faces like, ooh, I promise it's going to be okay, right? We're in this together. We're doing this together, and we're going to get everybody through this, and it's going to be amazing, because if you're not measuring, you don't know if you're successful. And we want everybody to be successful.
Just so I understand correctly, there's no coursework for the next week that we can do?
Well, I will release it this afternoon, Gretchen.
Good.
Yes, so you will have 2 full weeks to do this coursework, because we won't meet again until, does somebody have a calendar in front of them? I don't. We'll meet Tuesday after next.
16th?
Tuesday the 16th will be our next meeting. So when I release the coursework this afternoon, you'll have between today and the first part 1, right? Between today and that next Tuesday. And it would be lovely if you guys got through part 1 and part 2, since we've got so much time. And we can chat about that on Tuesday. Are you guys excited? I'm so excited. We're almost halfway through. You guys, I'm stoked. All right, do you guys have any other questions?
Just for Dr. Roxanne, do you ever eat red meat?
I do. I'm not, we talked about this before, but I'm weird. I'm not a big fan of chewing meat. I think because I've done it so long, I feel like I'm eating a boot. So, but I like steak that is a good steak, an expensive steak that is not chewy, that just melts in your mouth. And, but I don't like it very often. I don't know what it is. I just don't. It's not a bad thing, like a filet. I might get a filet. Sirloin and stuff like that's a little bit fatty, but like a filet mignon, that's a pretty lean steak. And also, there's this great place that you can order. It's a back strap. It's the back of a certain kind of cow, and I forgot I can't remember, but actually you can order it, and it is leaner than chicken. And the thing about, gosh, why can't I think of the name? Kay, do you remember that? Because Bob Rakowski.
The tenderloin.
Yeah, but there's a name. There's a name of a company where you can actually go online and order it, and they used to have it at Randall's. Randall's was the only place that had this really, really lean beef.
I don't remember what the name of the company was.
Okay, it's something ranch. Anyway, I'll find that and I'll put that in the Facebook page. But a lot of people will do that beef because, like I said, it's about as lean as chicken.
And Roxanne and I will both be available all week next week if anybody needs to reach out to us, and we'll still be monitoring Facebook. So you guys continue to use Facebook as kind of a communication tool if you need to reach out to us. I would love if you guys don't have, does anybody have anything else? Last comments? Don't run away because I have a request. I would love if 1 or 2 of you would stay for just a couple of minutes. and do a video test, not a testimonial, but the question would be, what do you like most about this program so far? So if anyone is willing to stay on, I would love for you to do that, or Roxanne and I would love for you to do that, and we'll just keep you on the Zoom and let you answer that question for us here. That'd be amazing. You guys are awesome. Be amazing. You're all beautiful. Thank you for being here. We'll see you Tuesday after next. All right.
Okay, I think I found it. For those of you that are still on here, it's called Spring Ranch Beef.
Oh, nice. Or it could be Trisha's beef from her freezer.
Yes. Right. So springranchbeef.com, and it's they're grass fed and natural grass, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, they have lean beef.
Awesome. Regina, are you staying on for me? For us? Yay. Okay, wonderful.
You know, I can stay on unless you have other people.
We've got, Ellie, we've got you and Regina. So if you guys want to stay on, that'd be super fantastic. All right, so Regina, I'm going to put the recording in speaker mode. So I'll just ask everyone else to be on mute while Regina speaks. So Regina, the question to you is, what do you like most about the program so far?
Tricia and Dr. Roxanne, what I love the most is the fact that we've combined health and business. That's number one. And number two is just the camaraderie and hearing that different people struggle with different things. And at the same time, we also have common challenges. So the group environment to learn has been fantastic.
Thank you very much, Regina. I appreciate you staying for a couple minutes. That's wonderful. All right. Okay, Ellie, same question to you. What do you like most about the program so far?
Well, of course, I like all the people because I'm a people person. But what I like is that it shows that you can have goals, whatever it is, business, health, and this really ties it in really well because it shows people that it explains how you can do it in chunks and that it's possible for everybody to be successful either in business or in health. So I like the tie-in really well. And I like the freedom of the homework. You know, you don't feel like you have to do it, but it's there and it's a good exercise for you.
Good. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to stop.